Annie was a little girl who enjoyed playing with dolls because it made everyone like her. She was born in a middle class home where social values and conventions were highly valued. So she had to act accordingly to get attention from her parents and society. She was sensitive, creative, and stubborn. She struggled at school but enjoyed drawing. No one in her family noticed her talent for drawing. She also enjoyed creating things out of mud, matchboxes, threads, and paper. One day she was feeling very lonely. She felt as if no one liked her because she never got good results in school and sometimes just passed. Her siblings were all academically blooming. While she felt secluded and no one was around to cheer her up, she thought that she should have a friend with whom she could share her feelings. She had an idea. She took some white clean paper and began cutting shapes out of it. She was creating a paper doll. She colored her clothes purple, then applied glue and sprinkled glitter on top. The doll was smiling. She was overjoyed with the doll. She carried the paper doll with her at all times. She enjoyed talking to her, playing with her, and taking her outside for some fresh air. She had created a small bedroom for the doll in her mother's empty aloe vera box. She placed the box on the window sill. One day, when she was sleeping, she heard lovely music. Her eyes slowly opened and she continued to listen to the soothing tune. She sat on the bed, looking around, wondering where the tune was coming from. She peeked out the window and suspected it was coming from outside. But there was nothing outside, so she fell asleep once again. Every night when she slept, the melody began. She became fearful one day when the sound became stronger and there were two voices. The second voice seemed a little unsettling. She raised her head from pillow and looked here and there. Her gaze suddenly fell on the window. She saw her paper doll dancing. Then something fell on the bed behind her. She became terrified. She swallowed her saliva and returned her gaze. A beautiful girl was sitting behind her, dressed in purple sparkly attire and beaming warmly. The girl approached her. She told Annie that her name is also Annie. She told her how much she enjoyed drawing and crafting things out of mud, matchboxes, threads, and paper. The girl told Annie that she loves herself a lot. She is her happiness and her best friend. She smiled, then vanished. Annie was still looking at the place where the girl was sitting. She looked at the door, but the little girl was nowhere. She instantly looked toward the window sill. The doll was not there. She checked the aloe vera box and it was there. Annie wondered whether she was dreaming. She was baffled. She couldn't believe what had just happened. She finally fell asleep again. Years passed and she reached the age of 35. She hadn't been happy for a long time. She suffered greatly as a result of her dismal feelings. She was dissatisfied with her job. She was living with her family, to whom she felt she could never offer enough. She felt like a failure and a miserable mother. She couldn't get enough of her life. One day, when she was watching the rain outside the window, she felt something fall behind her. She quickly looked behind. It was the same little girl she had seen when she was younger. The girl looked at her and repeated what she had said to her earlier. She smiled and asked Annie, "Where's your paper doll?" Annie was initially perplexed by the situation. She replied, "I don't know. It's been a long time. I lost it." "Didn't I tell you I loved myself?" that I'm my happiness and my best friend? And you still lost me? The girl asked, looking into Annie's eyes. Annie continued to stare at her. The little girl vanished. Annie looked around, knowing what she saw and heard was genuine and that she wasn't dreaming. Her spouse entered the room. She revealed everything to him. Her husband assumed she was ill. She should take a break. Annie sat on the bed, perplexed by what had just occurred. Then she looked up with a startled expression. She understood who the girl was and what she was saying.